Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Michelle Samuel, and I am your host for this morning. We are at the EWC Champion, or should I say EWC St. Lucia Champion Symposium. Now, you can see the banner rolling below here. And this symposium is being held as part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, or GEW St. Lucia calendar of activities in collaboration with the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce. And we are happy to host such an event, especially during this period, because we are celebrating entrepreneurs. Specifically, the theme for this year: inspire, connect, mentor, and engage our nation's youth. And our nation's youth are doing marvelous, wonderful, amazing things. And we have a marvelous, amazing, wonderful young lady who we're going to be speaking with in a few minutes. I am so proud to know her. I've known her for a couple of years now, and I dare say that she is a very promising young woman. And this particular champion that we're going to be talking to is the most recent addition to our lineup, and I can't wait for you to meet her. But before we go any further, we're going to take a little break so that we can, of course, showcase one of our sponsors for this year, or should I say our sole sponsor for this year, which is the Taiwan Embassy in St. Lucia. We want to thank them so much for their support of Entrepreneurship World Cup St. Lucia for this year. It was the second year running that they decided to sponsor us, and we want to thank them for that particular support that they've given us. So when we come back, we're going to hear from our guest, Miss Kissia Peter of 360, when we come back. All right, and we are back. Welcome back to the EWC St. Lucia Champions Symposium. And we're hosting this as part of GEW, our celebration of entrepreneurs for 2021. And this event is hosted by Slud Terra. And I'm your host, Michelle Samuel. And I'm going to bring on my special guest, Miss Kissia Peter. Let's say good evening and hello to her. Hello, Kissia. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm fine, thank you.
It's great to see you all smiles. So, Kissia, I of course mentioned earlier that you are our most recent addition to our champion lineup. But before we get into that particular story, in case persons have never heard of you, have never seen you, we want them to get to know who you are first of all. So let's get to know, who is Kissia? Can you tell us what makes you you? Tell us you as an individual. We're not talking about a businesswoman, not as an entrepreneur, but you as a woman and as a person. Who is Kissia?
Well, honestly, there's not much to know. um, I'm Kissia, 27 years of age, have three beautiful kids, and I was raised in Shudell and was recently introduced into the entrepreneurship um, environment and have been loving it from since then.
Loving it. I like that. You've been loving it. That is a great way to sort of start the whole, interview, because we're going to be talking about what prompted you to get to this point. Because of course, there must have been something that you noticed, something that was happening or something that was lacking that prompted you to become an entrepreneur, because you were not always an entrepreneur, right? So there must have been something that happened along the way that caused you to become one. But you are a mother, wonderful children, three wonderful children, as you stated. You don't look like a mother, by the way. I'm just saying, you do not look like a mother at all. So kudos to you on whatever it is that you're doing. Kudos to you.
Oh,
Um,
thanks. I think it's from the genes.
You must send me a pair of those jeans. Oh, you mean the DNA, right? Okay, so
Yes.
that DNA. Okay, well, I don't have that, unfortunately. I wasn't blessed to have those types of genes. Um, but let's talk a little bit about the transition. So you're a mother. You are, taking care of these wonderful children, and then something along the way happens. There's this shift from you just being a woman and a mother to you becoming an entrepreneur. And let's start from last year, because you applied for this professional training program, and you entered with this particular startup. I mean, it was something that persons had not really seen before. It was not experienced before here, per se. I mean, we talk about technology, but in terms of the experience didn't exist at this point here. But you brought this to us, and of course, seeing that you were a fresh face in the group, persons were really curious to see what this thing was all about. So, can you please tell us a little bit about what prompted you to join this professional training program that you did last year?
Well, honestly, last year, with the whole pandemic and COVID and everything like that, I used to create and produce carnival costumes and everything like that. But because of the pandemic, um, I lost my job. And at that moment, I was pregnant, working from home and everything. And then I got this opportunity, Dream Reality program, where, they train people to be entrepreneurs, they train you to how to start up your business and everything you should know about um, starting up your own business. And that is where I decided to educate myself on that, being home, pregnant, not having anything much to do, you know, that's what really inspired me to try to do something else with my life.
Okay, and I like the fact that you said you had to do something with yourself, not just sit around and just complain, I lost my job, I have kids to take care of. I mean, most persons would say, what am I going to do? Constantly ask themselves, what am I going to do? And especially being pregnant, like, who's going to hire a pregnant lady, right? So you're probably wondering, but what is my next step? But
Yes,
your next step was the alternative to finding employment, and that is usually the step that people don't usually think about, and that's what you went down. So you applied for Dream to Reality, you did the training, and did you graduate, by
yes, I did. I
the way?
think so.
Now we're sort of playing, cat and mouse with our viewers right now. We're playing cat and mouse. But Kissia did actually graduate. Not only did Kissia graduate, she actually became the face of the 2021 campaign for the training program. That is how well she did, and that was an award that she received because of her accomplishments. And we're getting into those accomplishments right now. So Kisa, you did the Dream to Reality training. You graduated. You got your certificate. And I do recall you kept doing courses. Like,
Yes,
you
I
didn't
did.
just stop there. You just kept doing courses. Like, how many courses did you do after you completed Dream to Reality?
I think I did about 8 more courses.
Wow. You did
Yes,
8 more. Oh, wow. I mean, that was some time you had to kill. You were hungry, man. My goodness. 8 courses. So you did a total of 9 professional courses in order to educate yourself, to place yourself in a position where you could now do something, and make an impact. And the name of your startup, 360. And it was an amazing, amazing product. I myself got to try it out one time when we had our networking session, our closing session for the class. I got to try it out, put it on, and see what the experience was like. Most persons would say feel. I say feel and see. I got to see the experience. I
well,
got to feel the experience. It was amazing. And I'm still looking forward to doing more and more and more sessions like this, Kissia. So
definitely.
you did these 8 courses, these 9 courses, I should say. You educated yourself. And now you have in your pocket 9 certificates and the knowledge of what to do and how to run a business and how to get, and how to get started. What was your next step? What did you do after that? What did you go into?
Well, I heard of the international idea pitch competition. In fact, before that, I did participate in a hackathon that they was having. That is where I came up with the other product that I had, the VT backpack. You know how to, again, COVID, we had like a few hours to come up with something, something less on a low budget, in this time, how we can come out and do something. But that is where VT Backpack came about in the hackathon. And then after, I decided to participate in the national idea pitch competition.
So you just kept moving, man. You went from just the 360 goggles and then you went to a VT backpack. I mean, you were just adding things to your belt. You were just like fitting things and just fitting things and just getting ready to just step out there.
Coming up with new ideas as I go along, yes.
Wow. And all this, being pregnant and just having kids and all of that, I mean, that's amazing. That's commendable. That is truly commendable. But can you tell us, did you face any challenges though, as a woman entrepreneur and as a young woman? I mean, you had several things stacking up against you. Young woman entrepreneur. Typically, these three things do not go together in a sentence. Plus pregnant. Let me just add that part. Young woman entrepreneur pregnant. You had these four things going against you. And how are you able to still manage all of this being a young woman entrepreneur who was pregnant? How did you manage?
Honestly, I couldn't have done it alone. I couldn't have. It was like, seriously, there had times I would feel like giving up, with have been pregnant, being emotional and stuff like that, having to deal with taking these courses, trying my best to educate myself, having my partner, Gillian Avril, he supported me so much, more than I can thank him for. Whenever I feel like giving up, he'd obviously push me. I had you, of course, Michelle. Never forget you. Always continuously, pushing me, believing in me, and stuff like that. So I thank you all so much for that. And that is why I keep on telling people that they should definitely surround themselves with persons like you, because trust me, when the stuff gets going, or whatever the scene is, the going gets tough.
The tough get going. Yeah.
It is, no income, just there. You have children to take care of. You have to come up with ways to make money. It's tough. It is.
Wow, I could only imagine how tough it was for you because I mean I'm a mother. At the time when I started with entrepreneurship, mother, unemployed. I wasn't pregnant, but I mean I had my kids with me everywhere that I went. So wherever I went, I had to take them with me.
Bring them, yeah.
So it was a struggle, trying to sell while having kids there because sometimes it's a deterrent because they hate the noise and all of that. It gets really noisy and there's a lot of commotion. It's not the right type of environment to attract business customers. But hey, that was my situation and I made the best of it. I thankfully, by the grace of God, because I'm a believer in God and I'm a Christian, I was able to do it through Him. I mean, if it wasn't for God, I would not have been able to make it through that. I would not have been
Definitely.
able to do it. So I know that God was with you, Kissia. I know that He was with
All
you.
the way. All the
I
way.
know that He
All
was
the way.
with you.
All the way.
So
All the
you
way.
took part in this hackathon. So we're taking this progressive steps here. The hackathon, the PT backpack, and all of that. I wish we
We
could
had
have
we
seen.
yeah, we
I
had to
wish we could have
create
seen this
the
thing.
VT backpack for the hackathon. To see me
Wow.
pregnant building that thing.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. I,
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it, but I'm just in awe. I don't know how you did it. So
Thankfully, I'm
you
not I'm not the type to be sick, through my pregnancy. I thank God for that. I can still work and do everything, plus having the other two. Yeah.
amen to that. Amen to that. So take us through this process. So you had the VT backpacks, you took part in this hackathon. So you went from dream to reality to the hackathon, and now we're entering the national idea pitch competition. Can you tell me what did that
Actually, actually, I did take part
there's more?
in in getting the ring.
Oh
I did
my
take part in getting the
goodness.
ring.
Kissia, where do you get the time?
I did take part in getting the ring, but it wasn't 360. I I started with my own business idea, but at that time, I struggle a lot with my nerves and coming out in public speaking and everything like that. So initially, I gave up. I partnered with my partner, and we decided to pitch the business idea together, where I literally froze on the people
Oh my
stage
gosh.
in front of live television, in front of 5 judges. Let me tell you, that is not a good feeling. Nearly costing him
Wow.
the winner. Nearly costing him the winner. But that was a learning experience. I did not stop there. I decided to take part in the National Idea Pitch competition.
My goodness. Are you the okay? So you're telling me now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're listening to this, right? This young lady here is saying that she froze on national television, live in front of judges, in a major pitch competition. She froze. And she did not give up and she went straight into another one that was even more live with even more
Yes.
judges. How did you get the courage to do that? Like, most times people would say, you know what, this is not for me. That's just too much. And that last incident would have maybe cowered persons into their little hermit shell, but that was not you. What really made you or gave you the motivation to keep going even beyond this particular experience with getting the ring?
Honestly, again, I would have to say thanks to you for not giving up on me. Thanks to Gillian Avril for not giving up on me. And many other mentors out there, friends out there, helping.
It's okay to say their names. It's okay to say their names because we want them to be watching. So we hope they're watching.
Yes,
Right now. So feel free to say their names
Mr.
because it's
Boshan,
always good to make
yes,
mention of those persons who helped us get to where we are.
yes, yes. Mr. Fabian Isaac, Mr. Boshan, Jasmine, so many mentors, so many friends
So
that
many.
I
So
and what's his name again? Lindell. These are people while taking part in the national idea pitch competition that I came up to for advice as to how to go about pitching, how to go about composing myself on the stage, what to do, whether to look at the judges in the face, how to
eye contact or
eye
yeah.
contact and everything, I it was the trust me, it was again I planned to give up so many times, but again, having your support, I must say, I learn a lot. And giving up is never the best thing to do. You will not never reach where you want to reach in life if you just give up. You have to continue no matter what. No matter how hard it is, no matter how afraid you are, you just have to continue reaching out,
I
putting
really
yourself out there.
appreciate what you said because you you are saying that you're giving credit to those persons who have given you the motivation and encourage you to keep going. But what I think I need to also say to you is that that would not have been possible if it wasn't for your efforts. Because if you were the one who gave up, all of our efforts would have been in vain. You
Yes,
still would not have gone anywhere if you had not been the one to decide that I am going to do this. So
Definitely. I
I
have.
appreciate the credits you gave. I appreciate it. But you have to get your credits too, my girl. You have to get your credits too. That's what I'm saying. Wonderful, amazing, and
Definitely.
powerful. I mean, I said this before you came on stage, and you are now giving proof to what I just said. So I don't just speak words. I know exactly why I say what I say. See what I mean, people? This is an amazing woman with all of what her deepest fears is public speaking, and she challenged it, and she kept challenging it. And this is what she did. I mean, she hit some roadblocks. I mean, after freezing on national television, I don't know if I would have been able to come back from that, but you came back from that and you were able to perform really, really well. So, can you share with everybody how did you perform? How did you do in the NIPC?
Oh, honestly, I think I could have done better. Again, being behind the scenes and prepping and everything is one thing. But actually, standing up physically on stage with five judges looking at you on live television is not easy. You're standing there. Thankfully, I had my pitch deck right there to help me not to blank out. And your voice, your mouth suddenly gets really dry. Your voice, and I was at one tone, but I was like, no, you have to do this. You can't do this. And I just kept on going and going and going, and yeah, I finally
And you
pitched
did it.
by
And you did
myself.
it.
Yes.
You did it. You actually did it. You didn't freeze, which was good. That was an
Nope.
improvement. You did not
Nope.
freeze. You actually went ahead and you did it. You did it. And of course, we will be sharing clips or the links to the clips of that pitch that Kissia gave. We will be sharing that in the chat with you, ladies and gentlemen. So please check this out when you get the chance. If you have not seen it, we will be referring you to the link where you can see that particular pitch. So, Kissia, you took part in NIPC. You placed what? Refresh our memories. What did you place?
Please second.
You placed second. I mean,
Second, yes.
yeah, that was. I
Trust
have
me,
no
it's
words for
better
that
than the
one.
first time. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting,
I've heard
because
you
I
say
when
that.
I when I when
No,
I
I've heard you
left,
say that quite a lot.
yeah, when I left the stage, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad at myself. I could have done better. But let me tell you, it's better than freezing.
Wow,
Yes,
wow, wow. That must have been such a boost for your
yes.
system and such
The
a
judges really
boost.
like the idea and everything like that. They really like the idea.
No,
It's
no pun
unique. It's
intended.
different.
I said such a boost, but no pun intended. No, no pun intended whatsoever. But this must have really given you, an increase of, zeal, to keep doing what you're
Very
doing.
much so. Very much so. I couldn't believe
I
it. I was
mean,
like, wow, I am capable of succeeding after all. I am capable of doing something that I didn't believe that I would have.
yeah, and imagine that. And of course, this is going to take us into your next venture. I mean, your next venture was bigger than the last. I mean, you just keep going, girl. You just keep climbing. And that next venture that we're talking about is what leads us to this evening's, interview, which is the Entrepreneurship World Cup competition. This competition is known as the biggest pitch competition in the world. There's none bigger than it. It has its title. It's been claimed, it's been dubbed the biggest. And it's the biggest because of the number of participants and the amount of the prizes and the value of the prizes cannot be touched by any other competition in the world. And you participated in the national leg to take you to that global competition, and you had to go against other finalists. So you actually got an advantage though for this one. So can you share, with our audience members, what was that advantage you got and how did that play to your added advantage, at the finals?
Well,
And
honestly,
for this
it
one,
did
I am going to give you the floor, Kissia, because I mean, I want persons to hear, what the experience was like for you, in this competition, because this was basically a leg up from NIPC This one was basically going to be all you going out there, really putting yourselves out on a limb and competing against others that maybe have been in business longer than you, already established, and you were going head to head, neck and neck for one title. And you didn't just win one title for the first time ever. You took both titles. My goodness. So I want you to share this experience with our listeners, with our audience, so that they can be in it with you, so they can share this story with you. So I'm going to give you the floor, Kissia. Like, just take it away. Share your story.
So honestly, because I placed second in the national idea pitch competition, I automatically got a spot in the EWC competition and the global competition. And one of my advantage was not having to pitch in person, but having to pitch virtually, which gave me a little more rest compared. And of course, it was a bit tougher because now we had only 3 minutes to pitch our idea. And trust me, it had a lot. I had to practice pitching, timing myself. Thank God I had my mentors there to help me. And it was an experience. It really was an experience. And having to go through this, honestly, and having to place, now I actually now believe in myself. I'm actually not planning on giving up anytime soon. Coming from where I was before, not believing that I was capable of doing anything like that, winning people's choice and placing first, definitely. Yeah, I believe in myself now.
And I'm just going to come back on here and say, well done. I mean, you couldn't have done it better. I mean, what's better than both titles? I mean, you got both titles. There was nothing else
Unbelievable.
there, So there was literally,
Unbelievable.
I mean, this was, I mean, okay. So the national idea pitch competition really opened up your. It really gave you the type of practice you needed to face
Definitely.
some shock like judges,
Yeah.
and it really gave you the courage to face what you would have faced next, because the truth is the judges we had at Entrepreneurship World Cup St. Lucia were experts. I mean, these were seasoned experts. We're talking about Hannah Fitz, we're
Yeah.
talking about Joshua Esnard, we're talking about Coach Shelja Charles Hart, we're talking about Betty Comby. I mean, you cannot, Kwesi Roberts, you cannot, pitch to these people and just get away with things. They're going to find loopholes in your presentation.
Yes.
They're going to challenge you on things that you didn't think to mention, and you hope they don't. No, they're gonna
Yeah.
put that on
Yeah.
you.
I forgot to mention the what really got had me the advantage was again because I placed second in the national idea pitch competition. I wasn't really in the semifinals. So I was able to see my competitors pitch before me. So
So you
I
see,
was
this is the
prepping
advantage that
myself.
you got. This
I
was
was
the
prepping myself.
advantage.
I listened to the questions. I looked at how they pitched and everything. And based on that, yeah, I was like, I got it.
And I mean, this is smart. This is really, really clever, because the advantage that you got for not being part of the semifinals and getting a fast track, place at the national finals, you were able to see your competitors. You were able to understand what it is that
Yeah,
they were pitching. You were
pitching.
also able to understand the judges and what the judges were looking for.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that was a major advantage for you. So, what I wanted to ask you, Kissia, was what did you do differently in the EWC St. Lucia that you did in the NIPC? or previous competitions? What did you do differently to give you a bit of an edge?
Well, honestly, with the national idea pitch competition, I definitely was more confident in the way I spoke about my business, because that was one of the main issues that I had with the way I present the business. I wasn't showing any excitement. It's not that I wasn't, it's just that the nerves, you know. But with me being having an event, um, the competition virtually, I was able to express myself a little more and everything like that.
Right, excellent. And 360 is now globally known, because of you and because of your perseverance and because of your tenacity. 360 is now known. So you participated in EWC St. Lucia for this year. You won the National Winner Award. You won the People's Choice Champion Award. You won like over $31,000, in prizes and whole lots of other things and recognition and respect and admiration from your peers, because it looked as if not even you were expecting it. Like everybody was really, really surprised by, by this. You just came out of there. I mean, they were working and you were just watching and waiting. And you just came out there punching and you knocked them out. I mean, you were in the
Definitely.
ring at the finals. You were in the ring at the
I
finals and
came
you knocked them
prepared. I
out.
had my VT backpack showing in the background. I had my I came
You were
full.
well prepared. You had your prop shot, the
Definitely.
judges interested. You even got Joshua. Like, you need to get this
Yes,
thing, patented. Yes. So you got the interest of the judges. So you played your role well. You were clever in the way, you approached the competition. And this is something that a lot of people should take from you in the approach. Always observe what's happening around you, take the information that you need, use it to your advantage in the best way possible without stepping on necks, and then you will get to
yes,
where you
yes,
need to be. So we have
definitely.
a double champion with us this evening. We have a role model for our young people this evening on not giving up. Definitely, we have a role model for that, not giving up. So you literally, Kissia, have accomplished so much from last year when you started with Dream to Reality to 2021. You've accomplished so much. Can you just give our young people out there who are listening, who are watching, and again, you're watching EWC St. Lucia Champion Symposium, inspire, connect, mentor, and engage our nation's youth. Kissia, can you give any advice and encouragement to our youth today who are watching this interview on what they should do whenever they see a challenge? Can you give them some advice?
Definitely. Um, Whenever you have a challenge or anything whatsoever, you know, you first would feel like that fear. Sometimes you might have relatives or sometimes your friends might say, no, that's not going to work or whatever, and deep down, that's what you really want to do and whatnot. You follow your gut, you follow your heart, you go for it, you give it a try. It doesn't matter. You just try out. It's worth it. No matter what you're trying to do, trust me, it is worth it. No matter how little and petty people think it is or sees it is, it's worth it. Give it a try, because if you don't, you will just regret it. Again, like I keep on saying, surround yourself with people that motivates you, people that wants to see you push yourself forward, that when you feel low, because there are going to be those moments when you feel like giving up. There are going to be those moments when you feel like you're your worst enemy. You need these people around you to help you, push you, and to keep you on track with your dreams. So continue to follow your dreams, put yourself out there. The world, trust me, will be thankful for you one day. Trust me, no matter what you have to offer, just go for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those words, Kissia. Kissia Peter, again, our 2021 EWC champion, national winner, People's Choice winner, and the winner of so many awards from last year to this year. This young woman has accomplished a lot. She is really putting her foot out there into those waters that are uncharted, and I just want to know what comes next for 360. Like, what vision do you have for the future? What's the vision moving forward?
Definitely, well, we're taking things slowly, but my in the next few years, I definitely see 360. Well, we're currently starting off in St. Lucia, our home country, and definitely looking to branch out in other Caribbean countries as well, and most likely internationally.
Most likely internationally. I mean, you were
Definitely.
on a global stage, so you are well on your way there already. So, Kissia, I want to say thank you again for joining us. But before you go, can you please give people again an idea of what 360 is? Tell them, what is 360? What is the 360 experience? Tell them what it is.
Well, 360 is using a virtual reality technology. And what we did, we created our virtual backpack, which is made out of a carnival style wireframe backpack that's fitted on the back, and it has a 360 camera. So whilst person's walking, you can see what the Lucia looks like live, like you're actually there, that immersive feel of what's around you. Virtual reality, really looking to create our VT, our virtual tour booth, which will again give foreigners an experience of what we have to offer virtually. With the VR headsets, of course, giving them an immersive feel of what we have to offer here in Solution.
Wow. And this is something that I know is going to reach very, very far. It almost
Yes,
did. It
Solution,
almost
yes,
did. It almost did.
we have so much to we're looking to do so much with this technology. So much to
Yeah,
do.
and but the thing is, we need more people like you, Kissia, who have the drive, the tenacity, and the perseverance to keep pushing, so that Saint Lucians, other Saint Lucians, can follow suit and follow in your footsteps. So, for those of you watching, again, take a look at this story. Take a look at this journey that this young lady has been on. For those of you who like to give excuses, listen to this. Young woman, entrepreneur, pregnant. What excuses could you possibly come up with? I'm sorry, there are none. Kissia Peter, thank you so very much for joining us this morning for our interview on our program. And we definitely want to see lots more from you and lots more with you, even more. I mean, I'm sure there's not only just a 360 coming up from you, there's a whole lot more behind Kissia Peter from what I'm seeing. And I can't wait to see what you
Definitely,
come up with next. All right. So, Kissia, thank you so much for
definitely.
joining us. I'm going to send you backstage, and we're going to, of course, prepare for our next person coming up, um, who you'll be seeing right after this. Kissia, again, thank you. I'm going to send you backstage. So, again, you are watching EWC St. Lucia Champion Symposium. We're looking at our champions from St. Lucia who have participated in Entrepreneurship World Cup, who have emerged as winners, both as national winners or as People's Choice champion. And we are hosting this as a global entrepreneurship event in collaboration with the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce for the year 2021, hosted by Slud Terra. I am your host for this morning, Michelle Samuel. Thank you again for joining us for this particular interview. Thank you so very much and stay tuned.